raised in the Lone Star Land, with boots on my feet and dreams in my hand. A little sassy but a whole lot of grace. You'll see that fire when you look at my face. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright. Barbecue smoke, Friday night lights, cheering for the Astros under Texas skies. A little bit stubborn, a whole lot of charm. This big old heart will keep you warm. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright. Barbecue smoke, Friday night lights, cheering for the Astros under Texas skies. A little bit stubborn, a whole lot of charm. This big old heart will keep you warm. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright. From the blue bonnet fields to the city streets, every step I take feels like home to me. With a little sass and a lot of pride, this Texas girl's got nothing to hide. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright.
Gummy shoe prints, laid them down the street. Chocolate wrappers hiding secrets sweet. They don't miss a beat, they've got a knack. With licorice ropes pulling answers back. Twist the wrapper to reveal the truth. A sticky web spun by a candy sloop. No sour lies can escape the grip. These lollipops are
Sebastian, sweet boy, where have you gone? The sun sets low, but we keep marching on. The wind whispers your name soft through the pines, a melody aching in these hearts of mine. Roads are endless, the nights are cold, but your story's a light we'll never let go. Where are you, sweet boy Sebastian? We're searching the hills, the rivers, the plains. You deserve better, oh you deserve better. And your army is fighting through heartache and pain. Your laughter once rang like bells through the air. Now silence just lingers, it's more than we can bear. We carry your memory, a flag in our hands. Through shadows and valleys, through shifting sands. The roads are endless, the nights are cold, but your story's a light we'll never let go. Where are you, sweet boy Sebastian? We're searching the hills, the rivers, the plains. You deserve better, Oh, you deserve better, and your army is fighting through heartache and pain. Your laughter once rang through heartache and pain.
Everybody. Hello, hello. Thanks for being here. Okay, let's see here. Daisy Duke, hello to you. Hello, Miss Rhonda. Good to see you. Celine. Cecilia. I don't know why I read Celine, but hello, Cecilia. Hey, Blue Eyes. Love you so big, girl. Let's see. Daniel, hello. Texas Plain Jane, hello to you. Hey, Miss Kathy. Good to see all of y'all with me here. Let's see who else we got. Hey, Brenda Sue, how are you doing? Hope you are doing good. Let's see who else joined us today. There's the one and only TJ. Hello, Mama. How you doing? Good to have you with us. Hey, Lisa King. There's my friend Michelle. Hello to you. Hey, Jacqueline. Good to see you. And our beautiful Jen in Georgia. Hello, my friend. Let's see. Teresa. Hey, how are you doing? Hey, Kai. And let's see here. Who else we got with us? Gotta get through, and I'm trying to not let it jump. I hate when this chat pops and jumps. I get lost. And I try to say hi to everybody best I can. Let's see here. Well, hello, Peggy. Good to see you. So glad you joined us today. Hello, Kiki. Cook us all something good. Let's see here. All righty. I think I got everybody. My chat froze. Hey, Keely. Hey, Nanny. All of a sudden it unfroze, and I'm like, whoa, wait, hold on. I hope I said hello to everybody. If I didn't, I apologize. Hey, Bobby, Cheryl, Valley Gal, Cat Lady. Boy, I missed a bunch. Sorry, guys. Hi, Just My Girls. Good to see you. Keely, I hope you're doing really good. Hello, Miss Erna. Veronica. Hey, Niecy, how you doing? Good to see you. All righty, and Nani, how you doing? I think I got everybody. If I didn't, I apologize. I'm so sorry, y'all. And I do apologize for coming on late. My daughter had told me about a story. She said, Mom, go to Facebook and read it. It was about a pediatrician that lives here and an accident that he had been involved in. And so I went there. Well, I had a message pop up just random on Messenger. So I clicked over to look at it real quick. Y'all, it was a voice message from my son that he sent probably a year before he passed away. And I pushed play, and I lost it. Hearing his voice for the first time in almost 6 years. Whew. The tears wouldn't stop, and it was time for me to go live. So I do apologize for that. But boy, it did this mama heart some good to hear him speak to me and call me mommy or mama. it was quite the take my breath away for a little bit. I had to gain my composure before I could get started. So I do apologize for that. But yeah. Woo, it did take my breath away, y'all. I was just like, whoa, whoa. I couldn't breathe for a minute. I was on the phone and I was like, oh my God. And the tears just wouldn't stop. So I apologize to all of y'all for being so late. Oh, hello, Maui. Good to see you. And so, anyways, yeah, Jen. Oh, Jen knows. But this mama heart needed to hear his voice, and that was a godsend for sure. But it took me a minute to get my composure to be able to even speak again. But anyways, thank you for being here. Thank you all for waiting. I appreciate your patience. I try so hard to be on time, but that one caught me out of the blue. But anyways, let me get myself put back together again. Yes, Miss Kathy, I think you did, because it's been pretty rough the last couple of days, just getting so close to that date. And unless you've experienced that, a lot of people just don't get it. But oh, Nanny, I'm so glad you have that. Yes, my daughter had, where he had sent her a voice message and he said, I love you. And he said, tell mama I love her, because he was out of town at the time. And she took that clip where he said, tell mama I love her, and put it on um it's like in a picture frame, and it's got the little heartbeat thingies on it. And um there's an app where I scan it and it plays his voice saying, tell mama I love her. So yeah, it's good to have their voice. And with technology today, I am so thankful I even found that. Oh my gosh. I keep his Facebook active just by posting on it, because I don't want to lose everything he has on there. And Facebook does not make it easy for a mother to take over their child's page. If it's gone, they're gone. So they told me to just keep it active by posting on there. And I never, ever, ever thought to look into Messenger, because he used to send me voice messages. And that message was, oh my gosh, that's a puzzle for me. I'm so colorblind, mama, and I was just like, oh my gosh. He was very colorblind, and I found a puzzle that was nothing but black pieces, solid black. And he was always having a hard time putting puzzles together because he couldn't match up the colors right. But we always teased him about it. Anyways, not trying to be sappy today. But thank you all for being here. I appreciate y'all so, so much. And yeah, they didn't have Facebook. That's what I'm saying. Today's technology, man, it made me happy. Very, very happy. And I'm grateful for it, for sure. So anyways, yeah, Texas Plain Jane said, nothing wrong with being sappy. Oh, goodness. Anyways, I hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, it was a nice birthday gift, Maui. It really was. I did need it more than I actually realized. Oh, do you? Blue eyes, that's amazing. I love that. Oh, yeah. Miss Kathy, yeah. Anyways, I hope everybody's doing well and being safe out on these wackadoodle streets that are called YouTube. I do apologize to anyone if they were offended by how I felt yesterday. I've been a person on YouTube where I'm not going to pretend one way or the other. I'm being honest with y'all, and that's how I was feeling yesterday. When does it end? When does it end and these kids become the number one focus? Hey Felicia, good to see you. And so, you know, it's just sad that there are so many missing kids out there in this world, and what started out to be a sector. You just need to be you. Thank you, Veronica. But this used to be a sector of let's help these kids. That's why I joined up and became a creator. And it doesn't seem like that's where we're at anymore, and it's sad. But, I don't have hate in my heart. I heard, I was being talked about again last night. Dadgum, if people don't realize the idiocracy behind the words they say, you know, if I'm really sleeping with Seth Rogers, then he would have to be in Texas or I would have to be in Tennessee. And I don't think either one of us have been either place. And it's pretty obvious. It ain't happening. But let's make fun of it. Let's keep putting it out there. How does that help Sebastian talking about his father like that? It's totally disrespectful. So, whatever. I'm just going to sit in my little corner of these YouTube streets, and anyone who would like to continue to join me, I would love to have y'all, because I'm going to talk about Sebastian. End of story. Not going to stop. We made that promise together as a united group here, and y'all asked me not to give up on Sebastian, and I'm not going to. We're going to see it through. And the streets can burn all around us or whatever. It's their choices. Good golly. But doesn't mean I have to like it. Doesn't mean I have to pretend it's not happening. And I am human. I have emotions. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. And so I'm not going to come on here and pretend to be one way and actually be a different person. That's not fair to anybody that follows my channel. Not going to do it. And I'm not going to sugarcoat anything either. So, with all that behind us, let's get started. Bobby, look at you, girl. She gifted 5 memberships. Guys, if y'all were one of the ones that got gifted a membership by our beautiful Bobby, please tell her thank you. Because, it is so kind and gracious of her. And so, with that, welcome to the South, y'all.
Welcome. Welcome to the South. We break that good stuff out. We got love to go around. So can I get a
glitchy today. But I do appreciate you, Bobby. Thank you so much for your support for our channel here. That is so kind of you. So let's grow our lollipops. That's right. We're going to have a whole ranch full of lollipops. Oh, I'm just hoping the anniversary doesn't end up the same way it is here. Oh, I'm worried about it, Michelle. I'll be honest with every one of you. I worry about the anniversary date. There are people going with good hearts and good intentions. And then you have Texana making a post, this post that she made. You avoid us because we will be doing searches and drones and all the things. And I'm pretty sure it would be a safe bet that it's going to be happening right where they're all wanting to gather. And so it's just going to cause a ruckus. Oh, Nanny, thank you. You know, every once in a while, I have my say because it affects me or the whole genre of true crime stuff. It gets out of hand. And I have a say about it, but I don't linger on it. And I'm not going to dwell on any of it because it's not going to do me any good to do that. And it's not going to do any of you any good to sit here and listen to it. And it sure as heck does not do anything good for any of these missing kids. Hi, Dan. How you doing? And so, yeah, we'll have our say every once in a while. I'll do it, but I'm a big girl. I can let it go and move on. Yeah, the trolls don't hurt my feelings. You know, it's funny, Tina, because when we have trolls coming in here, it's when you realize, oh, we might be a little too close to something. Because if we're just sitting here talking, they don't come in, right? They only come in to cause distraction. And that's what I believe Texana, her post was a warning to everybody. And I just pray it does not get destroyed with drama or anything like that. Because I do know people are going and they have good hearts and they have good intentions on what they're going for. But there are those that are not so good that have already stated, stay out of our way. But she didn't say where their way was going to be at. And I have a feeling it's going to cause some problems. I'm just hoping I'm wrong, you know? I really do. So I just, whatever, you know? I mean, I can't stop it. I can't make it better. I can't do nothing. I'm just stuck over here in East Texas. All I can do is pray. Hey, Holly girl, how you doing? Hope you are good. Well, thank you all for being here. And oh, by the way, Daisy, I love the way you got your spelling on your name. Don't ever change it again. That is super cute. I like it. Just wanted to tell you that. Oh, Bobby, I'm worried it is going to be a mess. I mean, this is the same lady who tried to crash the vigil and all the things, and Seth ended up in court tangled up with her for no reason. So, yeah, can't be anything good, right? Poor Sebastian, he never has a chance. Every time something good for Sebastian is going on, then there always seems to be something bad come in behind it. You're going to change your name to DJ the Dancing Beaver. Lord, DJ. Oh, goodness. Y'all are funny. So today the title of our stream today is Sebastian Rogers, the Amber Alert. In the beginning, we all were like, could it be because of the car? Because there has to be certain criteria you meet to be able to have this Amber Alert. Was it because of his autism? Was it because of his lack of medication? All these things. But I was looking at his Amber Alert flyer and I was like, I wonder. And I thought we'll have this discussion about this, and I wanted to get y'all's take on it as well. But I wonder what led to that. And so we're going to listen to, hang tight. Let me see if I can get the right one pulled up here. Here we go. Let's listen to this little piece, and I'm going to put the description in. I haven't done it yet. Let's see if we can get it pulled up here.
From his home February 26. First responders have searched about 2,000 miles for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. The TBI is releasing some details on the case. They say right now there's no proof of any criminal element or foul play, but they haven't ruled it out either. Investigators also say video surveillance from homes and businesses have turned up empty, but they are investigating tips and leads every day, interviewing and re-interviewing people while going over evidence again.
So I wanted to share that because no digital evidence. Hey, hold on. Hold on. Okay. I don't know what StreamYard was doing, but it was doing its own thing. Can y'all hear me? My page is blank. Okay. Can everybody hear me all right? My page went blank. Hey, Reality. Hey, Yogi. How you doing? Good to see everybody. Okay. Thank y'all. I was like, wait a minute. What's going on? So the Amber Alert comes out. And in the beginning, we all had these different thoughts about, okay, endangered child alert, Amber Alert, all these things, but you got to meet all these criteria. And I wonder now. Hi, Julian. How you doing? I wonder now, guys. Could it be the fact that within that first day, they started realizing there was no evidence that he ever left his home, but yet he's reported as missing? Hi, Wendy. Good to see you. I'm really starting to wonder if what they heard and what the evidence was showing them was just cause for an Amber Alert to happen. When a parent tells you, I don't know why he went out that front door over there, Oh, you're behind, Tina girl. StreamYard's being a little wonky. And so, thank you, Michelle. I was just fixing to try to find that. Thank you. So, Mom's saying he went out this door. Stepdad's there. He's going to push that narrative as well because that's what mom's telling, right? So everything's putting Sebastian out there somewhere. But she told law enforcement as much and as different stories as what she's told us. And law enforcement is finding no recording, no digital video of any sorts to even prove he made it home. And no digital evidence at all showing him walk out that front door, that garage door, or anything. Nothing. Nowhere in that whole entire neighborhood. Could that be the real reason for the Amber Alert? I'm starting to wonder now because, you know, an Amber Alert is an emergency public facing immediate broadcast tool for severe child abduction. But yet a criminal case is the broader legal investigation, which may or may not include a public alert. Isn't that interesting? Amber Alerts are usually done when there's been an abduction or evidence of an abduction. Exactly, Veronica. Shoes left. How did you know for sure he went out that door? He didn't pick up his shoes and put them on, did he? So things weren't adding up, guys, in the very, very beginning of Sebastian's case. You know, and it's quite funny that mom comes up with this flashlight theory, but yet we end up seeing flashlights walking around the back of their home. I'm starting to wonder if Sebastian did not make it home, was that car at 3 a.m. a staging type thing? Did she walk around and have a light that would come on occasionally just to leave enough out there for any camera that didn't happen to get jammed up that night? Could that car have been... A lot of people thought it was to bring his shoes and his clothes back. Guys, I don't think the clothes make any difference if what Chris and Katie have both told us. He had 3 of every one of those types of shirts. 3 of that character he was wearing that night at Texas Roadhouse. 3 of the other one and 3 of the other one. There was 3 different pictures. Notice that number 3 is quite common in Sebastian's case. And Veronica, it may have been to pick him up. It might have been. But now we are starting to realize the very beginning, the FBI put out a $50,000 reward for, excuse me, the whereabouts of Sebastian Rogers and the arrest of those responsible. In the beginning, they said he went missing on the 26th from his home on Stafford Court. That has now changed, per the FBI, to he went missing from the area of Stafford Court. Because, folks, I honestly believe they don't have any evidence that young man ever made it home. Now that we know her dash cam only recorded 6 minutes from her drive from Texas Roadhouse, supposedly to their house, and she told FBI she didn't get home till 8 o'clock, and he immediately took out the trash. She told us they got home around 7. Friends, at the most, we're talking 12 to 14 minutes from Texas Roadhouse to their house. It's more closer to 10, but if you give a few extra minutes here and there, it still leaves an hour and a half from the time they left Texas Roadhouse until the time her car pulls in that driveway. I've always said you have to stop and ask the question, was Sebastian even in that car? If he was in that car and he did come home that night, the only thing that shows any activity that Sebastian might be there is a light comes on in his room. Katie could have easily done that. And then now on the FBI website, they state that Sebastian went missing on the 25th of February in the area of Stafford Court. If we were to take all their words, everything they've said, everything they've put out, they have backtracked away from the version his mother has presented that we were all supposed to believe as fact. They have backpedaled and actually changed their wording on the time, the date, and the area of his disappearance. Could it be that he was handed off in that hour and a half? Sure. Anything's possible because we don't know. Her dash cam does not come back on until the next morning when she's leaving out of the driveway. So after 6 minutes of her trip home, Sebastian's in her car. He's never seen or heard from after that. Does he remain in her car and go in that garage in her car with her? The door shuts. Could it be Sebastian taking out the trash? Could be. From what I'm understanding, that video, they can't say yes or no. And therefore, the last sighting of Sebastian is at Texas Roadhouse. Even Seth said it was too dark and grainy to even tell. But Katie pushes the narrative the FBI has cleared it up because of the way that boy runs. I'll still keep asking her, how does the FBI know how Sebastian runs? How can they verify that? Did you send them a video of how he runs? Then my other question to her would have been, no, I have not seen the dash cam video. No, they have not put that out to anyone. On the FBI.gov website, if you have a login and have gone through the background check and all the things, they have it stated there that she told them she got home at 8 o'clock that night. She said Sebastian took out the trash. They also state there is no digital or forensic evidence to even prove he made it home that night. There's no digital or forensic evidence that he ever left that home. So, how does this work? It's just strange to me that we have a child that, according to his mother, runs away, just goes out that door, leaves. But yet, digital evidence actually says, no, looky here, that door never opened. Yeah, it's dark over there, but when that door's activated, that keypad lights up. It never lit up that night. You never saw anyone walk away from that house. So everything from the very, very beginning was all based off of the words of his mother, the one that was last with him. Did she bring him home or did she hand him off somewhere? I don't know where it was posted, somewhere on Facebook, but it did. There was the post saying that allegedly Katie was spotted at the BP station, which is right past the high school, which is Worsham's as we know it. And there was a car that pulled up beside her. Someone out of her car that looked like Sebastian got into another car. Still doesn't explain that hour and a half gap before she made it home. There's too many unanswered questions hanging in this young man's case. And his Amber Alert for me is one thing that, what made you say this child was in immediate danger? Was it because there was a random car that seen that night pull up and 2 flashlights movement? But yet Eric Craddock tells us it's of no evidentiary value. But he can't tell us what it is. So it leaves us more confused. What is that 3 a.m. light video? What is happening during that ruckus that we see happening when in February there was no leaves on those trees? There was just sticks. So it wasn't leaves moving. Leaves don't form body shapes. You know what I'm saying? What was happening? What could have been going on? And the biggest question, what led to the Amber Alert? The fact that they started realizing within the first 2 days, hey, this child ain't nowhere to be found. We don't even know he made it home. What is going on? I always thought it was crazy because, Kiki did the dispatch video, and that one officer goes back to 1008 Stafford Court, which is the Proudfeet's house. And after he's there, he makes an announcement on the radio for everyone to come back and meet up there. And then they'll make a game plan. When there were already several people in the cemetery area searching. in the construction site searching, but they're all called away. Yeah, you're right, Veronica. All the doors were locked. Katie was locked in her home by herself. But we're not supposed to look at her and question her because she's supposedly grieving. I just think it's very strange how some of these things are starting to play out, how we're learning over time. You know, what a mess. Nathan said the reason Sebastian has not received justice, the system is responsible for what happened, not just solely the two people most obviously involved. Nathan, it's very possible. That's the thing. We don't know. I know. Cat lady, and that's something. She said, I'm happy the 15-year-old from Hendersonville, Tennessee was found so fast because it really was pretty fast that they found him. But they can't find Sebastian. Can't find Sebastian. Oh, Lisa, don't you know that lady? Yeah, I've already told y'all how I felt about her and her grieving process. Nathan, a lot of people would agree with you on that. The most tragic thing, there was never a serious investigation. I mean, why are you going to call people away from already being in search mode at the most crucial time? Should Sebastian have been in that area, he could have slipped away because you called everybody back off of that area. And everybody went different directions after that. Of course, take into consideration who was sitting in the Proudfoot's home. When you have a missing child and there's no evidence he ever left that house, and you have the DA sitting in your dining room talking to you, the mayor stops by from what I've heard. Something ain't right here. But guess what? Sumner County has a new DA. And let's hope and pray the new DA has a conscience and wants justice. Yeah, no Luminar, nothing. What wasn't it Wild Child yesterday that made the comment on my video? I think it was that or the last live that we did or something, or was it on here yesterday? Where she made the comment about if Katie kept such immaculate home like Seth told us, why would she need professional cleaners to come in and clean her house? That was big. That was huge. I wonder if Katie could explain that one to us. Yeah, you are right. Diana said, Silvers said it right. You can remember all the jokes and the put downs and threats. You know where Sebastian is. 100%. I know, right, Teresa? I mean, were they serving up coffee and crumpets? I mean, there's a missing kid. But we heard their conversation was about their next vacation and the jewelry. Oh, Chrissy Poo was going to buy for his mommy. I just don't get it. I mean, yeah, cat lady. And I never thought of it, but I believe it was Wild Wolf that put it out here. If Seth makes that comment, how Katie kept her house immaculately clean, why would she need a professional to come in and clean her home? If you're grieving because your child's not there, if you're panicking because your child is nowhere to be found and you're scared for your child, you're going to care less whether your house is immaculate or not, whether it is scrubbed clean or not. That's going to be the last thing on your mind. My best friend and my cousin came when we found out about my son, and they started moving stuff around, getting chairs arranged because they knew people would start coming in and have places for everybody to sit, kind of thing. Because we do live in a small town. And it ended up to where, gosh, almost the whole entire town ended up in my house. They started going into the bathrooms, wiping off the cabinets, making sure everything was good there, make sure there was enough toilet paper in each restroom, make sure there are paper towels on the dining room table. Let's go ahead and put a full row over here, And I was like, what are y'all doing? And they said, don't worry about it. We got this. And the whole thing was they weren't cleaning, they were preparing. More being prepared for what they knew was going to turn into a large group of people coming and going from my home. It wasn't about cleaning it. And Wild Wolf said that yesterday. It hit me right between the eyes because it was like, oh my God, you don't have your house professionally cleaned. You should have had someone there preparing for those people coming to console you. It's just crazy how Katie Proudfoot thinks, how she has acted. We saw how she drove through the neighborhood with her windows up to search. But we're not supposed to question her because she's a grieving mother. I don't see it. I see Seth grieving because he doesn't have his child with him. I see Seth speaking out for his son. We took the time to sit here and listen to all three of the parents speak about Sebastian. It wasn't until the third day. We did Katie first, we did Christopher second, and we did Seth third. It wasn't until that third day that we started learning who Sebastian was, what he was like. Because even in Chris's words on that one video, he was known at school as Piss Pants. Katie talked about how he got all up in everybody's bubble. All she could talk about was he liked to eat and play games. Over and over and over again. But it was Seth and his video that was put together where we started learning what kind of kid Sebastian really was. Thank God we have his father to speak out, because we would all still be considering Sebastian as this kid who gets up in everybody's personal space, all up in your own little bubble, and is a nuisance and all the bad things about him. Mm-hmm. Holly, exactly. Exactly. They just say it as if it's everyday thinking, just their way of, yeah, that's what he's like. But with his father, we learned he likes to be lazy on certain days. He likes to lay around. He likes to cook. He likes to learn. He likes, you know, his dad was teaching him how to be personal when they're out in public and say hello to people and introduce himself. His mother should have been teaching him that. His mother should be reminding him every time they left and went and did all those fun things they tell us about. Yeah, Daisy. Google it, y'all. But we have to remember that his mother, Sebastian's mother, she's the one that has set this whole damn narrative in motion. He ran away. He went out that door. I don't know why he went out that door, but he likes shiny things. Like, that's going to help anybody find him if he's out in the woods somewhere? Give me a break. It's not even funny. It's gross and disgusting coming from Sebastian's own mother. But then I got to remind myself it's Sebastian's mother who was raised by her mother, who went to jail for things that she did to children. Her sister did the same thing. Her stepfather unalived his son-in-law so that he could marry his daughter. We're talking a messed up family. Does that make any of that Katie's responsibility? No. Sebastian is her responsibility. And although her mother is not allowed around children, Katie feels safe to leave Sebastian with her grandmother and her mother. Katie feels safe to allow her son to have conversations with her mother. At what time does that become okay? At what time does a mother feel like, it's okay. She just hurt a few kids. She just did a few things to me. It's okay for my son. Just because it was done to you doesn't make it okay for your child. I just can't understand that. And it made Seth mad when he learned of all those things. And he had a right to be mad. As a parent, you should want more, a better way of life for your child. But yet, yeah, like Holly said, they normalize it. And it's very sad because there is an active Amber Alert out for a missing child that has no proof he ever made it home, no proof that he ever left his home if he did. So, where is Sebastian? Is he at one of the places that Katie and Chris have traveled to across this whole United States? We're talking up in Canada and Alaska as well. Is Sebastian with a family member? Either side? Katie's, Chris's? Pretty sure he's not with Seth's family because they were all out searching for him. They wouldn't have wasted their time if they would have known he was tucked away safely with their family. Maybe that's why Katie. Yeah, y'all hear Ziva barking. She's actually here. That's the other dogs. They're on the stairwell. But maybe that's why Katie's not been grieving so much, because she knows who has Sebastian. Wouldn't that be amazing to find out that, Sebastian has been living actually with a family member? He's been taken care of this whole entire time. Hopefully not abused. Nathan said it would be amazing, but it's Powerball odds. With this case, every bit of it's Powerball odds at this point. Diana believes he's not anywhere else but closer to home. A lot of people believe he's really close to home. And yeah, that would be awesome. Katie even said maybe when he's 18, he'll come walking through that door. Do you honestly think he's going to come home to you, Katie? Chris? Let's not forget all those CPS cases. Let's not forget the fact that there are 287 pages from the therapist. And nothing of that is any good. It's pretty harsh. Even Seth said if you read it all, you would have nightmares at night. But there's a whole side of people who honestly believe he will not get to go to his dad's home because that's a bad place for him to be. He'll be with his mother and his stepfather. I mean, how does that make any sense? I don't know. I don't. Am I on Seth's side or Katie and Chris's side? No. I'm on Sebastian's side. I have asked questions when it comes to Seth because I have to be fair to Sebastian in his case. And why has his father not been cleared? I have tried to look into that. To be fair, to be above board with every bit of it being equal. There's not equal here, folks. Katie tried to get a restraining order on Seth. The judge threw it out because there was no evidence and gave him 50-50 custody, joint custody of this child that Katie was trying to say, I need to protect him from his father. Make it make sense. There's nothing there. But at the end of the day, Sebastian is still missing. Even with all this drama going on and the hate that's being spewed everywhere, Sebastian's still missing. He's missing. Where is he? We are just shy of 2 years. We're 28 days from being the 2-year mark. And we are no closer to finding Sebastian than we were on day 1. It took us all this time to decipher through all the bullshit that has been spread out there, all the attacks that continue to happen daily. If you go search, you're going to get threatened. They don't want this child found. It's obvious. Who are they and why? Why is it that a creator goes out and looks around the cemetery area and comes back to his car and the whole main belt is missing? How is it people go out and search and their tires are flat? How is it there's wires that's been cut under their hood? Why is it the United Cajun Navy started receiving death threats on their family members? Not them that's searching, but their family members. Why is it that YouTube creators who talk about Sebastian start getting harassed? Why is it there's an Amber Alert for a missing child and people are doing their damnedest to keep him from being found? This Amber Alert usually follows alongside of an abduction of some sort. An endangered child alert says, this young man's out here. The elements are changing. He doesn't have shoes. He doesn't have a coat on. He's lost in the woods somewhere. He's endangered. An Amber Alert is usually when there is some fact that he is been removed from a situation. How is it that 2 years later we don't know anymore? And Sebastian still hadn't been found. He hasn't been located. I agree, Diana. I do. She said, C&K know everyone involved, including them. The more belittling they do and the more threats that are put out and damages to vehicle, the more guilty they look. Everyone knows. I agree with you. I do. It's so sad. Because all this YouTube drama that's happening doesn't help find Sebastian. It creates a bigger divide in Sebastian's, per se, army. The green team, as they have labeled us. I don't have a label. I'm here for these kids. I honestly believe the Jack and Lily case, Daniel was arrested. Is it on the charge of those children? Not sure yet. But when they come back and want a sample of your blood, they got something. They got something. So let's pray those two babies will get their justice and they will be found. Madeline Soto went missing, and her mother and her mother's boyfriend put out this long sob story of, I don't know what could have happened. He took her to school. She got out and she was walking to the school. When all along, she never made it to the school because her mother's boyfriend had unalived her, because allegedly there was a potential pregnancy and he, the mother's boyfriend, would be her baby's father. They couldn't let all that get out. The mother played stupid. And I honestly believe she should be behind bars for allowing her boyfriend to take her daughter and go sleep in his bed. When does that make it okay? It never does. But yet law enforcement worked their ass off and they found that girl in her body. That man is now behind bars. She has gotten what I believe is partial justice, because the whole entire time of her life that he had been in her life, all she knew was sleeping with him and her mother. And when her mother had a headache, she would go with him to his bed. It was a way of life there. They made it work, but it backfired on them. One day, get pregnant. Madeline Soto didn't show up for school that day. Sumner County needs to do better. They need to stand up for these kids, because these kids deserve their story to be told. They deserve to have the truth spoken out if they're not able to do it themselves. Every day you sit here and you can look at a new Amber Alert. It's heartbreaking, the amount of kids that are going missing these days. And yet, a lot of them just fade on into the background. I made a promise to Sebastian, I'm not going to stop. His active Amber Alert tells me they believe someone knows something. They believe someone out there knows something. At no point have you ever heard Katie nor Chris speak up and say, hey, if you have my son, please let him go. Sebastian, baby, if you can hear me, call 911 and tell them where you are. Mm-mm. She has said, I feel like someone has adopted my son, but she's never begged for her child's life. There are people in this case who I honestly believe know a whole lot more to Sebastian's case, and yet they haven't even talked to law enforcement to let them know what they know. And yet we're supposed to follow these people because they might talk about it, about his case, about other missing kids. I'm sorry. If you cannot make a call and let the law enforcement know the knowledge that you've been told, you should never, ever open your mouth about a missing child ever again. If you are a person who has harmed a child, you should never, ever be able to speak up for missing children. If you ever sat back and allowed someone to harm your child, you should never, ever be able to speak about missing children. But unfortunately, fortunate for you, we live in a world where you have the right to speak as you wish. But heaven forbid somebody else might speak about themselves or how they feel and they get attacked. Heaven forbid somebody think different than you, then they get attacked. But because you've got those things in your background, but yet you're going to sit out here and talk about missing kids. You're going to talk about us talking about missing kids and how horrible we are, when the big majority of us don't have those things in our backgrounds. Somebody make it make sense, because it doesn't. If you know anything about this missing young man, I dare you to do what's right. It should have been done a long time ago. It should have been. But you sit on your high horse, make that money, and this child remains missing. Sometimes I honestly feel like it just becomes an everyday thing for some people, where they've done it and talked about it and all the things, that they just get on here and do whatever they please, however they please. And there are those people who do not give a damn about these missing kids. It's their prerogative. They can be how they want to be. Very possible, Nathan. It's very possible. Okay. Okay, Daniel, I will check. Um, and I'm not saying, please do not take me wrong, I'm not targeting anyone. Okay. Not targeting anyone. I just hear a lot of things being said in the background with creators that don't seem to like us. And they seem to know things, but they haven't done nothing about it. And I don't understand why. I will tell you, if I was to ever get any type of information that would help Sebastian, you're darn right I'm going to send it in. A lot of people, I'll put things out and they're like, please turn this in. Already done. It's already sent before I ever put it out here. I'm not going to sit on anything just in case. And I told you all before where Blue Eyes and I were on a call talking, and we had been talking about something on my live that we had learned, and a person that we had in common, and come to find out there was a tie into the Sebastian case that we had no clue. We would have never thought about turning over any information because we really didn't have any. We didn't even realize what we had. You see what I'm saying? There's times where you're not sure. But law enforcement knows. The private investigators, they know. If you have anything, no matter how tiny, no matter whether you think it might not even be nothing, turn it in, guys, because it could be something huge. It really could. Because you see, Sebastian has an active Amber Alert this whole entire time. It's been active. Nathan says it's like saying boss hog is law enforcement. Lord help them. I know people talk about the FBI, need to get the FBI involved. Guys, the FBI hasn't been involved since day one. Eric Craddock told us himself. Sonny Weatherford said it. Ken Widener has said it. The FBI has been involved in this case from day one. Should they take the lead in this case, things might start happening, maybe. But they know all the things that's been found, all the things that's been turned in. Law enforcement does know. And the FBI doesn't put out a $50,000 reward if they don't know things. If there are not things that connect dots for them, they're not putting that much of a reward out there. You go and look, they're usually 10, maybe 15,000. Very rarely do you see a $50,000 one, and that's only because the dots are starting to connect. Let's hope that last set of dots connect really quickly, and the FBI can maybe step up and say, here you go, make your move. Because they're watching, they're following everything. They see every one of our channels. If it has Sebastian's name in it, they're watching. Nathan, that's the thing. Dots are starting to connect. We're starting to see it plain as day. But what is it that law enforcement would have to make it all stick? That's how we have to look at this. You know what I'm saying? What is it that's keeping them from going ahead? Daisy, a lot of it doesn't even make sense. It really doesn't. I've just come to the conclusion it's not supposed to make sense to me. I don't know. I don't get a lot of what's happening out there. I don't understand how everybody's justifying things in their minds or their thought process, but it's not up to me. It's up to us individually. I've told many of you that emailed me over and over and over, what should you do? I can't tell you what to do. You make your calls, just as all these other people out here are making their calls, how they feel. Yeah, Michelle, they do need tangible evidence. A lot of times they will wait for a body. I don't know what they're waiting on. I have no clue what piece of this puzzle isn't connecting for them that they want more. I don't know. I wish and I prayed that it would connect as fast as possible to get this over with. Maybe after this case gets solved, we can all start to move on and the drama can slowly go away. But no matter what sector you go to on these YouTube streets, there's going to be drama. There was drama in the Summer Wells case, by golly. It just happens. You just got to learn and choose how you're going to deal with it. Lisa Vallejo says, I don't think Katie and Chris is involved at all. At this point, it's possible. We can't say 100% for sure who is and who isn't. We can have our thoughts. We can have our opinions on that. I don't think Katie is a grieving mother. Doesn't mean that she is an unaliver per se. But that's also just my opinion. You know, I mean, we can all think differently. And it's okay. Now, if you're going to come in here and Lisa, what I totally respect what she put in chat because she was not rude about it at all. She put her opinion. She wasn't down my throat with the fact that I think Katie and Chris might have something to do with this. So thank you, Lisa, for being so respectful with your opinion. And so whoever is responsible or is someone responsible? Are multiple people responsible? That's the part we don't have connected. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know, Nathan. You know, I see it the way you do. I don't see how there's any doubt. I don't see how people look at it the way they do. But they do for whatever reason. They do. People, they have their right to feel the way they do. People have the right to not like me. I can't do nothing about that. I'm not going to beg them to like me. I'm not going to change who I am just so they will like me. It's this thing called, you know, the way I am, the way I think. It's my opinion and I have a right to it. But evidence is not what we know, what has been proven, and what law enforcement has confirmed to us. It doesn't look good for Katie and Chris. I will say that. It does not. Nothing they've put out there has made it confirmed to make Seth look bad. They just have not cleared him. Kiki, I'm not joking with you. Why is none of their homes cameras being shown as anything important if there was activity in that cemetery area? There were homes there. They were built. Kiki and I both looked into that. How is it that their home videos haven't been talked about? Bobby, look at you being so sweet. She said, I'm proud to be a Lollipop member and I love you all. There we go. That's what we need. We need lots of that. Thank you, Bobby. You are so sweet. And let's just do this for you. Let's see here. Let me get down here and get you a little happy yeehaw. Thank you so much, Bobby. I appreciate you. You're so kind and so sweet. Hold on, guys. I got stuck on this backstage here. I don't know what StreamYard don't like me some days. But yeah, it's really disheartening to think that there was an Amber Alert issued. We were not given the reason why. We've been out here for almost 2 years, assuming this, assuming that. I'm starting to wonder, is it possible because nothing added up? There was no evidence he made it home, nor no evidence if he did make it home that he ever left that home. Something's fishy here. Something's not right. Something don't add up. And that just goes right hand in hand with Sebastian's whole entire case. It doesn't make sense that people want to go search and give their time to go search, but yet they get threatened. Doesn't make sense that, not just the verbal threats being put out on YouTube by, the stepfather to some creators, but their cars are physically being tampered and altered. It just isn't right. None of it makes it right. Belinda, I agree with you. Belinda says it very perfectly here. And this is kind of where I'm at. If we can see it, Ellie has to see it. Now our question goes from there to, do they have enough to make that move? If not, what do they need? I wish they would tell us. We could help. We could do our best to find it. We can do our best to help figure it out. We're all here. And every one of us want nothing but the same, for Sebastian to be found and brought home. End of story. Don't care who finds him. Don't care how. Get him found. Bring him home. Let his story be told. Let's end this. Put his case to rest. He deserves it. That's all you can say. Let's get this. Let's do this. Let's do it correctly. Make sure you have everything you need. Do what you got to do and end it. Sebastian deserves that. So, do they know where he is? Are they waiting for someone to tell them where he is? Does any of the evidence lead to where he is? That's when I go back in my mind and I sit and I think, if there was no evidence he left the home, no evidence he made it home, but he was last seen with his mother in her car, and she tells us he was locked in his home with her, but she's the only one out here to speak. Something ain't right. Something don't make sense in this story here. And there's one person left hanging here. Katie. Kiki says, and who was at the end of the road, Lolly, that they had to guide to the pond, and why? Exactly. So many questions, man. So many questions. We have questioned over and over and repeated questions in our mind. Am I hearing this right? Am I misinterpreting what is actually being said? You have to go over it all. Dan says she is afraid to speak out in his opinion. She might be. I just know this. I have never met a mother. I have looked into lots and lots of cases. I've never seen a mother just shy of 2 weeks having a missing child leave home and leave snacks and covers on the front porch for their child, kind of like what you would do for your dog. Her driving around. There's video footage showing she's not looking for her child. You can't look and holler out his name and drive like a bat out of hell with your windows up. Ain't gonna do no good. She did that in the neighborhood. She did that driving through the school. She was just wanting to be seen on camera. See, I was driving around looking for him. Well, why weren't you looking while you were driving around? Yeah, Jen, I agree. So either she's resigned to it and planned it, or he's somewhere. You know, when things don't start adding up after someone has sat there and told you things, and you start seeing these red flags, friends, your gut's telling you something. Your head's catching something. You start paying attention to those things. Every time Katie has spoke, there's been red flags surrounding her whole entire speech, script, whatever you want to call it. Because she adds something. She takes away something. But the bad part is, when she does it, it changes the whole entire story. The whole entire timeline gets completely 100% altered. If you're a mother of a missing child and you can't tell the same timeline, something's not right. I understand if you say, well, he did say something to me, but it wasn't much. That doesn't change the timeline. It doesn't change every bit of what was happening. But when you say one time you're asleep on the couch at 10 o'clock, another time you say 11 p.m., another time you say midnight, and a whole other time you're studying and doing your homework, that don't work. Every single time it changes the whole entire timeline. And yet, if she would have told the truth from the beginning, she wouldn't have to keep changing her timeline, because the truth never changes. It is what happened. It's the truth. Just like that day when she went and picked up her niece and her sister-in-law met up with her and they went here and he got this and he did this. And every time she tells the same story, because that's what happened. It's only after they come home, supposedly, allegedly, from Texas Roadhouse, that she can't tell the same story twice. Is it because of that there's an active Amber Alert? You got to wonder. What she's telling the public ain't what she's told FBI and law enforcement. It don't match. Why would you need to lie to us? We're only here to help your child. Friends, her past was put out there. I didn't dig into it. I rarely reference her past because I'm not quite sure it has anything to do with Sebastian going missing. I do, however, feel protective, like what a mother would, that Sebastian shouldn't be submitted to all of that. And Katie's okay with him having that contact, even though a judge has said no contact. Katie's okay with it. That is a little bothersome. Had it been my children and my mother wouldn't get to talk to my children. They can make that decision when they're old enough. I wouldn't hold it against them. I would love them the same. I would even support them if they're old enough to reach out to her. Unfortunately, my mom passed away when my kids were babies, and my mother had absolutely nothing like that involved in her life. Ugh, no. But that's how I would have felt about it. Should it have been my family? Katie should have left Sebastian not contacting her mom until he was old enough to make that choice and to take care of himself. But that's how my opinion goes. That is my thought, my opinion. Cinderella, you are 100% right. There is no one in this chat, on this platform, that is a perfect parent. No, none of us are. And like I said, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. Does that mean she's wrong? Legally, I would think yes. morally, for my morals, yes. But that's all based off of what I think. Could that any of that play in the reason for an Amber Alert? Guys, I honestly believe after all this 2-year time span that we have been covering all of this and learning all the things that we're learning, I think there was enough red flags in the very beginning for them to issue an Amber Alert for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I honestly believe that the missing flyer the FBI put out, they started seeing the red flags enough for them to change some things. They changed the date. TBI changed the date because Sebastian wasn't seen after he left Texas Roadhouse. That's why. Everything took place that night. Katie and Chris want it to be between midnight and 6 a.m. I think that's the time that just distraction type things were happening. Not quite sure anymore if that was actually Sebastian being put into that car. But you see, none of us know that because we weren't there. Could it have been, like I was saying the other day, could it have been Katie's scent that led to that retention pond? Could it have been Chris's scent? Could the dog have followed whoever was responsible for Sebastian going missing? I believe so, Diana. I think, the Amber Alert will probably fade out when he is turning 18, I would think. Oh, yeah, Nathan, the retention pond is the ultimate Proudfoot distraction tactic. Exactly. How did he know it was only knee deep? He told us, Chris himself, that pond is only knee deep. How did you know that? How did you know how deep it was in that middle? Maybe you walked into it? Who knows? Who knows what was happening? And that's the thing. None of us know. We can all have our opinions. We can sit here and talk about it all day long, but not one of us out here on this platform knows the truth because we weren't there. If we go by the words of law enforcement, they can't say for sure Sebastian made it home. They can't say he ever left that home because they don't see anything that supports either one of those. And that's a fact. When law enforcement puts that out there, it's a fact. It's not multiple stories that we got to decipher through. It's not listening to Katie say, well, he would have, and do all her deep breathing to gain her composure. Town chat. Good to see you, sweetie. So good to see you. Thank you for being here and stopping by. It's good to see you. Hope you are well and everything's going good your way. Yeah, Dan, that's my thing. What are they thinking? Where are they going to? What is their thought process? I don't know. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Oh, Jen, you know I love you, girl. Look at there. Jen's getting jealous of Town Cat. Town chat. You know, I wish we knew. I wish we knew. I just hope they figure it out very soon. I do. Sebastian deserves it. He deserves better. He deserves better than all the drama and the hate that's being spewed all over these streets and sadly is being attached to his name because every person has talked about him here. Every person involved in all the drama, they've talked about Sebastian. And all that's being attached to his name. Of course, it's quite strange to me how Mob Crew and Silvers comes up with the cemetery area and that construction area and the video and the cars and the lights and the uptick in the drama. And look where we're at. Drama is off the charts. People aren't talking about the cemetery anymore. They're talking about the drama. Folks, there's a pattern here, even on these streets. So, I hope and I pray that that Amber Alert that was issued for Sebastian Rogers nearly 24 months ago will be able to be put on inactive duty, we'll say. He does stand. Sebastian has a whole group of people looking and fighting for him that he never even knew of. And hopefully one day we can just pray that maybe Sebastian is still with us. Maybe that day will come when Sebastian gets to see how many people have been out here actually fighting to find him. Literally fighting to find Sebastian. We need to get us some t-shirts that says fighting to find Sebastian. I don't know, Bobby. I need to figure out something we can do over there one day and do another live or so over there. I'll get busy on that. Y'all just be patient with me if you wouldn't mind over the next couple of days. It's going to be pretty rough coming up. Already has been, but yeah, we'll get back on track. I promise. I promise. Read the bell. Got your letter today, my friend. Thank you. You're so sweet. She is so sweet. I just love her. I'm fortunate to have you guys here, to put your opinions out there, to have these conversations. Oh, town chat. Yeah. People are disappearing every day. Kids left and right. I'm starting to hear more and more and more of school teachers, coaches that are being let go due to sexual type content stuff. Things they've done to children in their school. When is that okay? When did that become okay for our children's safety zone should be their school? They should be able to go there and be kids and learn and have, good times at school with your friends. And our children should never have to be worried and scared of their teachers. There is a problem amongst humanity these days. There's a problem when people would rather sit and hold information just so they can make money rather than turn that information in so this child could be found. Our world has evil amongst it. I'm not just talking YouTube. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking about there is evil in this world everywhere you look, disguised as just a good old boy, good old girl, happy go lucky. It's very sad that the children seem to be the ones being hurt the most. It's not fair. And it's not right. And that should be across the board with everybody, you know, everybody. Though we don't all agree on the same thought process, it should never, ever be questioned that these children deserve to have a life living free as a kid, not having to worry about predators among them. It's just sad. That's all there is to it. And that should be everyone agreeing to that. Not pointing fingers, not calling somebody out. It's just not okay for kids to have to worry about the home they live in, the school they live in, or, you know, because these kids live at school as much as they live in their home. So, yeah, you know, they're attending school all day. They shouldn't have to worry about these things. They should just be kids. Yeah, Lisa King said children are the most vulnerable and sick people prey on them. It is so sad. So sad. If you look around, you will find it happening all around. All around you. It's happening. And just like what I believe the YouTube streets need cleaning out, per se, of the hate and the evilness that's people are being attacked, should never happen. That should be weeded out. The world should be weeded of all the evil. But unfortunately, that's not how life works. And we have to teach our children, our grandchildren, about these Amber Alerts. This young man is missing and nobody knows where he's at. They're worried for him, so there's an Amber Alert put out. Your children and your grandchildren should have that little thing in the back of their head. I just need to be a little more careful. And it's sad that that's the way it is. Sebastian should have been free to live in his home and not have to talk to a therapist about all the abuse happening. He should have never had to have 5 reports filed for him because of abuse. He should not have vanished off the face of this earth. But unfortunately, all of that happens every single day. And unfortunately, it happened to Sebastian. And we are all passionate about Sebastian. And as long as we can keep an open mind, we can move forward and actually good to help these kids. Because they do deserve it. Retha Bell says goat watching will be fun. Y'all, I'm not joking. There's times where I'd rather just put my recorder on, record me sitting out in the goat pen, not even saying a word. I think it'd be more fun than all of this drama stuff. It's crazy. Lisa, I will say this. His teacher has spoken. His counselor has spoken. His principal has spoken. They were the ones that called for those reports. There are things that they have said. His father has seen the report. Matter of fact, every creator on the other side has a copy of those CPS reports. They were all emailed a copy of those reports. They were. Because the person that emailed from Seth's phone to a content creator on the YouTube streets, and that person emailed them out to all those people over there. They've got them. Whether they've looked at them, I can't say. I don't know. But the reports are out there. They are real. Yeah, it was supposed to be just Seth. Person that was staying at his house that night got into his phone and emailed them to her actual boyfriend. He cannot show them, Lisa. That's the thing. Even those other creators that do have those reports cannot be put out public. Seth had to get a lawyer to even see them, to even get a copy of them. And it is illegal to share those kind of reports. Yeah, Seth did not send them. No. What was her name? Michaela was the one that sent them. I don't have them. I don't want them. I don't want to be in possession of something that is not rightfully mine to have. No, he didn't. Seth did not. Okay, let me rephrase this. Okay, listen up, Lisa, okay? Because I know it gets confusing. Seth was seeing a woman named Michaela. She was at his house. While Seth was asleep, she got in his phone to his email, emailed and forwarded the email with those attachments to T-Rev, a YouTube content creator. T-Rev then emailed it out to other creators. Seth has made it very clear, and people in power do know that Seth did not do that. So those people who are in possession of said papers could actually, if they talk about it, well, you can call it BS. You can call it for what you want to. Those creators on the other side even said they've seen it. I don't know. I do believe Seth. I do believe there are CPS reports, and I believe his teachers. I believe the principal and the words he told us. Sebastian did not live a good life in that home. If nothing was happening in that home, there wouldn't have been a court case coming up for child abuse. All righty, guys. Well, listen, I've kept y'all over 2 hours. I'm not going to sit here and have a debate. Like I say, you either believe it or you don't. It's your prerogative. And at the end of all of it, there still remains an active Amber Alert for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. who is now 17 years old. You know, Texas Plain Jane, I can say this. I could understand Seth not having a PIN code or his phone locked. It's just me. I don't have mine locked down either. I'm the only one that ever gets my phone. My grandkids are around all the time. My kids are around. Other people are around. My phone will be laying there. I've never, ever had a problem. And I've never locked my phone. So I can kind of see that when it's just you most of the time. But safety wise, we probably all should have our stuff locked down. So, yeah. And mine doesn't. I chose to skip it. That's all. Yeah. I don't want to. My luck, I would have a psychotic moment where I couldn't remember my name or my PIN code, you know? I couldn't even get on my phone to call somebody. That would be my luck. But, you know, it's just a personal choice whether you lock your phone down or not. But nobody's going to think you're going to get in and get your personal stuff and send it to a YouTube creator. It's quite sad. Quite sad. But it is what it is, and it happened, and there's nothing to do about it. But I tell you what y'all can do. Y'all can come back again tomorrow. Y'all come back and hang out with me again tomorrow. We're not through with this young man's case. We're still going to talk about him. We're still going to go over things. We're still going to question things because there's still a lot left that there's no answers for. And so we'll keep doing what we do. And so, anyways, with that, y'all be safe out on these YouTube crazy streets. Oh, Maui says, almost lolly birthday. Thank you. Yeah. Saturday's approaching very fast. And so, anyways, y'all be safe out on these crazy streets. Protect yourself. Be cautious. Be alert. And as always, stay safe and warm. I know there's another round of Arctic weather coming to hit several states all over again. Whew, Lord. It's cold enough for me. Don't need it. But anyways, guys, y'all be good. Just know I appreciate all of y'all. I appreciate being able to have a conversation with y'all. I love and respect each and every one of you. So until next time, friends, love and hugs. Good night.